You are listening to the Fringe Radio Network. FringeRadioNetwork.com.
You're listening to Earth Oddity, a weekly odyssey into all the oddity planet Earth has to offer. And now, serving it up are Christopher Tiny Sullivan and John Long.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of your favorite podcast, the internet's favorite podcast, and the world's favorite podcast, the Earth's favorite podcast, Earth Oddity. I'm John Long. I'm here today with my co-host, the brains and brawn behind the entire operation, Tiny Sullivan.
I would go brawn. Don't know if I'd go brains.
No, definitely brains. Yeah, you're definitely the brains behind
We're in
it
trouble.
all. And we're here to bring you another great episode of odd stories. We have all kind of good ones. There was a fight over crab legs that I got. What's some stories you got in the hopper?
I have a lunar library.
Okay.
Got launched. So
All right. Well, I'm sure to get a lot of use, you know.
I was just sitting there. Good luck collecting those late fees.
That's right. Yes. Just a small aside, and maybe I should wait until you tell the story. I have a library book that has been checked out from the Fayette County Library since 1994. I've never taken it back. They're going to have to come arrest me to get that book back. I mean, that's just how I roll. You know, I'm a rebel like that. So
Yeah.
the complete works of Ralph Waldo Emerson is what it is. So if you're
Well,
in
that's
Fayette,
worth going to prison for.
exactly. If you're in Fayette and you've wanted to read some Emerson, I'm the reason you can't. So really, there's another guy. There's a whole long story. I won't get into it. There's another guy who is the reason that it's that overdue, but it's now back in my possession, and I've just refused to take it back. So, but yeah, so good day today. I've had a great day. It's Doc Watson's birthday. Do you know who Doc Watson is?
I don't.
Well, he's dead, but it's the day he was born. But
Okay.
really great guitar player and kind of a bluegrass folk artist. So if you don't know Doc Watson and you're listening here, go check him out.
R.I.P. Doc Watson.
Yeah, rip Doc. He was great though. But that's I was listening to him before you got here today, and it was on my mind. So do you want to get us kicked off?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. Since I've mentioned the Lunar Library, let's go ahead and talk about that.
Okay.
Headline: A 30 million page library is heading to the moon to help preserve human civilization.
Okay.
When Israel's Bereshit spacecraft launched toward the moon last week, it was carrying a mysterious cargo. Nobody knew what it was. Mission planners called it a time capsule, but hinted that that wasn't the whole story. Now the truth is out. The little lunar probe carries a 30 million page archive of human knowledge etched onto a DVD-sized metal disc.
Okay.
So for aliens or humans, you know, millennia in the future, I hope they still have a DVD drive on their laptop.
People on Earth are already getting away from DVDs, so yeah.
Maybe they should have went with a USB stick.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
But anyway.
Like a detachable hard drive or something. Let's just do that.
The Lunar Library, as the archive is known, constitutes civilization backup
Okay.
to help ensure that our distant descendants never lose humanity's collective wisdom. According to Nova Spivak, co-founder of Art Mission Foundation, the Los Angeles-based nonprofit behind the project.
Okay.
What you want to bet if we were to go, I don't know, 2,000 years into the future and humans are living on the moon, somebody's using it as a coaster?
Probably. My thing is, if humanity gets wiped out here, how are people going to know that it's on the moon to go get it and retrieve it and get, like, you know, the cure for polio or whatever, the vaccine for polio or whatever off of it?
I don't know.
See? I mean, they didn't think it through.
Well, maybe, I mean, you can't just put it on the moon. You need to have like some kind of sign pointing to it or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, this is
I know
all
the moon's
of the
not as big
information
as
you need.
Earth,
Right.
but it's a pretty big place for astronauts just to go up there and be looking around.
Right. Yeah, I mean, allegedly. Yeah, right. You don't want to land it on the dark side of the moon.
That's true.
Because all you got over there is like Pink Floyd albums.
Bring a flashlight.
True. Yes, very much.
Anyway, it says, this is a quote from her. One of our primary evolutionary challenges that we face is amnesia about our past mistakes and the lack of active countermeasures to repeating them, Spivak said in an email. For the survival of our species, we need to find ways to raise our awareness of what worked and what didn't, and we need to ensure it is shared with the people of the future. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Although in the future, I wonder if we'll look back and say, maybe a DVD wasn't the best medium.
Maybe we just up our history curriculum, in classrooms.
Paul Davies, director of the Beyond Center for Fundamental Concepts in Physics at Arizona State University, regards the Lunar Library as mostly symbolic, yet still important. It encourages people to reflect on humankind's place in the universe, he said, and to rethink how we search for evidence of non-human civilizations too. If we leave records on our moon for a huge duration, maybe E.T. will have done the same, Davies said, adding that it might make sense for humans to look for alien artifacts on the moon or other locations.
Oh, okay.
That's
whatever.
really cool.
Yeah.
But if we found some kind of metallic disc with all these alien records, would we even be able to read it? I mean, that's like dropping
possibly
an English book to a caveman or something,
What was it, Voyager, that we sent out back in the late 70s, I think? It had a record on it, a gold record that had, different music and stuff. Yeah.
But wasn't it designed to play automatically or something?
Yeah, they had kind of like hieroglyphic instructions on it, on the side of it or something that told you how to play it. So maybe they got something like this figured out. Hey, go to your nearest pawn shop, buy a DVD player, eject and put in the disc. You're going to have to get one of those AV cords to plug it into a television, and then you can see everything we need to know about humanity or whatever. I don't know. I mean, this is all a good idea in theory, I guess, but we have the internet, and I've uploaded a page for trading in Grateful Dead tapes in like 1999, and it's still on the internet.
It's
somewhere.
Still there.
Yeah, I think so. Last time I checked, it was. So we kind of have all this information here, but I get what they're saying.
But it's good to have it on the moon.
Sure, why not?
Because you never know when you're going to be on the moon, and you're going to need a Grateful Dead album.
True, that's
you
right.
need to know where to get it.
And I think I may have told this story on the podcast before, but this is my library story. In the Civil War, the entire campus, except for 2 buildings of the University of Alabama, was burned to the ground by the Union Army. General Croxton did it. And they burned the library. And at the time, Alabama had one of the greatest libraries, definitely in the South. Do you know the one book they were allowed to save out of all the books there?
I don't.
Or they got to choose one book to save.
What is it?
The Quran.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they feel like it was probably one of the only copies, definitely in the South, but probably in the entire United States at that time.
Yeah, because as far as the Bible goes, I mean...
Oh, yeah, the Bible's everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that you don't want to save it, but, I mean, you can go over to your great-grandma's house and trip over a copy.
Exactly.
If you're not careful.
But the Quran was a very precious, book at that time as far as, like, rarity is.
Yeah.
And it is still that copy is still at the University of Alabama in the Special Collections Library now.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like to throw that out every once in a while. And, they burnt down the entire university. So, I mean, that's what you get sometimes when you rebel against the Union. That's what happens. They come and burn all your stuff. So
pros and cons.
Yeah, pros and cons.
Mostly cons.
Yeah,
in our
lot
case.
of cons.
A lot of cons.
It's hard to name too many pros in that,
Real quick.
Oh, yeah,
we
go
leave
ahead.
the story,
Sorry.
I just wanted to mention that they mention what all is on it, and it says that one small component of the archive is the time capsule Bereshit's creators alluded to, a collection of songs, children's drawings, and writings about Israeli culture and history, because it was the Israelis who put it
Right,
there.
yeah.
But the rest is truly encyclopedic. Included in the Lunar Library's more than 200 gigabytes of data, it's a lot of data,
Yeah.
are the entire English language version of Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
So,
well,
everyone, I hope you got your entries in before they sent this
I hate
off.
when they like downloaded it after somebody's goofing off, because changing them to win an argument or whatever.
I
Yeah.
was about to say, like, future generations are going to think
Yeah.
that Ted Cruz was the Zodiac killer.
The dude who founded Wikipedia went to Alabama too, by the way.
Did not know that.
Yep, there you go.
Wow. Anyway, also, tens of thousands of fiction and nonfiction books, a collection of textbooks, and a guide to 5,000 languages, along with 1.5 billion sample translations between them.
Okay.
All of that information is etched into 25 stacked nickel discs, each just 40 microns thick.
Okay.
So
I don't even know what a micron is, but it sounds
yeah.
cool, like a cool unit of measurement. I would like to, I weigh 12 microns. That would be pretty neat.
There's a picture of it on here, and it's
Oh, yeah?
it looks like something you'd buy in the gift shop.
It does. It's like collectible coins.
But somehow they got all that information on that little bitty disc there. So
Well, that's pretty cool.
good luck reading it.
Yeah, very, very good luck. So, if future generations look back, there are going to be some stories that we cover that are puzzling. And this would definitely be one. This comes to us from NBC DFW, which I suppose is DallasFortWorth.com. And the headline reads, just if you're standing up, you might want to sit down. Neo-Nazis group's leader is black man who vows to dissolve it. So,
Wait, the leader
Yeah.
of the neo-Nazi group?
yes. One of the nation's largest neo-Nazi groups appears to have an unlikely new leader.
I know how he got the
I would
job.
say that, yeah. How?
Affirmative action.
Oh, come on. A black activist who has vowed to dismantle it, which is pretty good
really
on his
cool.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, hey, what? I just want to know how he got elected. Maybe this article will tell us more. Court documents filed Thursday suggest James Hart Stern wants to use his new position as director and president of the National Socialist Movement to undermine the Detroit-based group's defense against a lawsuit. The NSM, that's what all the cool kids call it,
Yeah.
is one of several extremist groups sued over bloodshed at the 2017 white nationalist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. You remember that's where that dude
remember
ran
that,
over
yeah.
somebody with a car? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was a
That
little,
was a bad scene.
Oh, it
like,
was-
oh my goodness.
it's tough.
I hope that never comes to Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, right.
Please stay away.
Yeah, hopefully, and I've had this for, like, we actually talked about it last week. We've
Yeah.
came a long way.
We have,
Maybe. I mean,
Not
like,
there
look,
yet. We still
no.
have newspaper editors in Linden,
Yes, right.
Alabama.
Yes,
But
yes.
for the most part,
I feel like we're in better position.
We
but
are.
Virginia, they're I don't know. They're like an original state. So I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. Anyways, Stern's filing asked a federal court in Virginia to issue a judgment against the group before one of the lawsuits goes to trial. Stern replaced Jeff Schopp as the group's leader in January, according to Michigan corporate records. Kind of puzzled by the Michigan thing, you know? You feel like your neo-Nazis going to be down south for the most part.
Yeah.
Maybe in the West, like Idaho, or it's like
Idaho's-
only white
yeah,
people.
I don't know why Idaho, but apparently
because
they're
there's
big
only
in
white
Idaho.
people.
Yeah.
There's I don't think any minorities live in Wyoming that are like a major percentage. You
Right.
know? So
Okay.
they just are afraid of everything who's different than them. They have no interactions
Right.
with people, and all they watch is the news.
Mm-hmm.
And the news only reports bad news, and they may say, black guys are breaking into cars, and then they're like, well, every black guy around here breaks into cars. I don't know. I don't have a good Western accent, so I just do a Southern accent.
But I would be
for
like, I
all.
didn't think there was any African Americans in our state.
Exactly.
So what do you mean?
You're like,
by
what
that?
am I worried about? I don't know. Anyways, but those court records and documents say nothing about how or why Stern got the position. His feat invited comparison to the recent Spike Lee movie Black Klansman, in which a black police officer infiltrates a branch of the Ku Klux Klan. Neither Stern, who lives in Moreno Valley, California, nor Schopp responded Thursday to emails and calls seeking comment. Matthew Heimbach, a leading white nationalist figure who briefly served as NSM's community outreach director. Whoa.
Community
They
outreach.
have a community outreach. Like, what are they, like volunteering at the soup kitchen or something? Come on, National Socialist. Said Schopp and other group leaders have been at odds with rank and file members over its direction. Heimbach said some members essentially wanted to remain a politically impotent white supremacist gang and resisted ideological changes advocated by Schopp. Heimbach said Schopp's apparent departure and Stern's installation as a leader probably spell the end of the group in its current form. I would say so. Schopp was 21 when he took control of the group in 1994 and renamed it the National Socialist Movement, according to the Southern Poverty and Law Center.
Better PR.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's tough.
There's a lot of people who, are would consider themselves socialist or interested in
possibly.
socialism.
Yeah, but you mix that.
You drop the neo-Nazi tag, and you can probably get a lot more people to show up to your meetings. Sign up for your newsletter. Heimbach's
quoted as saying, I think it's kind of a sad obit for one of the longest-running white nationalist organizations, who estimated that it had about 40 active dues-paying members last year. Goodness gracious. 40 active members. Golly, come on. Which I guess that's a good sign.
That's a good thing, yeah.
I mean, that's really a good thing.
Well, I mean, it's sad that there's 40 people who are still paying, but you would think it was more than that.
Yeah. It says it appears that Stern has been trying for at least 2 years to disrupt the group. A message posted on his website said he would be meeting with Shop in February of 2017 to sign a proclamation acknowledging the NSM denouncing being a white supremacist group.
Cool.
He goes on to say, I have personally targeted eradicating the KKK and the National Socialist Movement, which are two organizations here in this country which have all too long been giving privileges they don't deserve. So apparently he has worked his way in here, and the article doesn't tell like how he got elected, at least that I can see anywhere, that he's became the president. You know, I don't know if it was like an internet election, like let's do a poll on Twitter or something like that. I imagine if they had a group, it probably wouldn't work, but like a group meeting, like all 40 of them got together at the Cracker Barrel.
I don't know. How hilarious would it be if me and you and a bunch of other people joined it just to vote for him and
just
keep him in power.
all the power we could? Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. If it weren't for like the negative connotations, you know.
Exactly. I don't want people
totally
labeling me a neo-Nazi,
right,
which is why I wouldn't. But if, like you said, if it wasn't for that, like we could get that going on
we could just
4chan or something.
Yes, just keep him in charge. That's not a bad idea. He like permanent leader. We elect him, like change the bylaws where he becomes permanent, leader of the neo-Nazi group. Yeah. But I mean, kudos to this dude for wanting to take it down because, we don't need any of that in this country. It's too much. I mean, we kind of went over that last week. But if you're the type of person that doesn't like somebody because of the color of their skin, you should rethink your position in life, And
you know what? Let's even extend it out beyond that. If you have a problem with somebody because they vote a certain way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Or if you have a problem with somebody because they maybe somebody other friend that they have or something. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We got to get back to, and I've kind of talked about this before, but man, the individual, people are individuals.
Absolutely.
And maybe you can sometimes, maybe there's I don't know. You see what I'm saying?
No, I get it. I mean,
like when it comes to polling and we're always trying to group people into groups.
Right.
But you just can't do that on an individual basis because people are individuals.
Right. Well, and that's what I would say, just to use a very easy example. I don't think you and I would be what many people would think of when they're thinking of Southern Baptists.
Probably not.
I don't at all. We are potentially outliers, to the group, but we are, so if you can't lump us in with all of the rest of them when they start boycotting Disney World or whatever, because I can't speak for you, but I would be like, that's pretty dumb,
Yeah.
So, it's hard when you start viewing everything by this is the group that you belong to realize that, hey, I may identify with some of the policies here. I may not identify with all the others,
Right.
And I'm not saying that about the Southern Baptists or our church or anything like that. I'm just saying in general, So you may look at someone and go, okay, you're a Republican. Well, I hate everything about you because you're voting for things that I'm opposed to,
Right.
Well,
maybe that person just wants a shot at lower taxes.
Yeah, right. Yes, right. Or maybe the Democrat guy just wants us to care more about the environment more,
right,
Because hey, it's pretty much one of the original jobs God gave us was taking care of the earth,
Yeah.
And so I'm going to vote for people who are going to support that because I have a conviction that that's what we need to do. And so when we start lumping everybody in as libertards and whatever MAGA people, I mean, it just it does our country no good at all. So, maybe I should run for the head of some liberal organization. Which I'm neither
I would
liberal.
vote for you.
Yeah, I'm neither liberal or conservative. I'm super conservative about some things, and I'm super liberal about other things.
Right.
So I don't know where I fall. I'm certainly not a libertarian. I have some libertarian leanings, but some
I
of
would
that.
consider myself a right-leaning libertarian.
Okay.
But just as you said yourself, like I don't agree with everything.
No,
like I don't think any party I'm going to agree with everything they do or say.
Yeah. I don't know. I just know that it's super fun on Facebook right now because the Alabama has proposed a gas tax. Oh, there's been some really good comment wars on that. I haven't gotten into them, but it's just fun to read.
I think everybody should get a 4-wheel drive truck and we just go back to dirt roads.
That's right. It's horses. Let's go horses. Horses and wagons, okay? That's what I think we should do.
Yeah.
Horses and wagons. Let's grow our own food, too. Let's do it.
Well, anyway, this next story here, a man faked his own abduction to avoid Super Bowl squares payout.
Okay. So that's a degenerate for sure.
I guess there's worse ways to try to get out of a gambling debt.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Maybe so.
But this has got to be up there.
This is bad.
A man from New York faked his own abduction and robbery to avoid paying money that he owed following Super Bowl 53, according to a report. Troopers on Wednesday found Robert Brandel, 60 years old, of North Tonawa in his Ford F-150 with a rope attached to the headrest and tied around his neck and his hands and ankles duct taped. So
okay.
I guess he got somebody to duct tape him up.
Maybe so. Or I guess you could do your ankles first. Tie your neck, then duct tape your ankles, and you could probably work your hands around somehow. I don't know.
Yeah. It says the guy's name was Robert Brandel. I thought this might have been Jussie Smollett at first, but it's not. According to the release, Brandel claimed that on Monday he picked up 2 men who were involved in his Super Bowl squares pool, and that one of the men had a pistol and took $16,000 in cash from him.
Oh, wow.
He also claimed they made him drive around New York against his will for 2 days before eventually tying him up in the back seat of his truck and leaving him in the parking lot. Man, driving around in New York for 2 days.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yes. But even if you aren't abducted. Yeah. Right.
Further investigation revealed that Brandel's story was fabricated. According to the police, Brandel, who was in charge of a pool with $50,000 payout, made up names on some of the squares, hoping that he would win most of the money. Police said that Brandel was unable to make the payouts. He was arrested for a scheme to defraud, a felony, and falsely reporting an incident, which is a misdemeanor.
Well, yeah, that is
That's the end.
Yeah. Well, I wonder, did it say, because I kind of zoned out there for a second, how much he owed?
$50,000.
That's a serious Super Bowl square game. That's not like your normal office. Everybody throw in a couple of bucks. So
it says that he was in charge of it, but it says up here that he said that the guys took $16,000 from him. So
wow.
I would be like, well, there's a lot more money. Where's it at?
Yeah, but that's crazy. I don't know. There's worse ways to get yourself out of debt, but that was not a good plan for sure.
No.
The guy, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you would do it.
Well, if you get abducted and kidnapped, now I'm not a gambler, but I imagine if I was, I'd be like, well, you still owe me.
Exactly. Yes. Right. I don't gamble at all. I'm fascinated by gambling and gambling culture, but I have a very, very addictive personality, and I would lose my house and everything I own. I know I would. So I've just kept myself away from it because I can't handle the responsibility of gambling. I have some people that I know that gamble and they make money, they lose money, and they enjoy it. They say it makes watching 11:30 Portland Trailblazers Minnesota Timberwolves game super exciting.
If you had $10,000 riding on the game, I imagine it would.
Yeah, or even $100. You're just like super excited and into it. But I can't do it. It's just I don't have the willpower to stop when I lose, because then I would just be chasing trying to get it back, and that's a bad scene. And I I can't lose my wife, and so if I lost all our money again, the first time was on a legit thing like business, but if I lost it on gambling, she'd probably leave me, so I got to keep her. She's got insurance, so
any fellow Baptist out there that would be interested in gambling, I would recommend day trading because we think that's okay for some reason.
Well, yeah, Baptists, they're not big supporters of gambling at all, Now, I don't know that it's specifically prohibited, like as a sin. It's not like gluttony. Now, we're all in on gluttony.
I was about to say, now we're all in.
All in. I'm big proponent of gluttony. Love it. But I don't know that it's like specifically laid out in the scripture that you shouldn't be gambling,
Yeah, I mean, obviously there are plenty of text about, being good stewards of what God's giving
That's where you're going to fall.
So I think that's where
right.
it gets into it.
Yeah.
But
if you're winning and tithing off of it, isn't that bad?
Maybe you're being a good steward.
Right. Or if your 401k loses when the stock market dips, that's kind of the same thing, right?
Right.
Probably not.
In my opinion, it's one of those gray areas. I mean, that's for Christians to sort out on their own.
Yeah, it's not like alcohol, which will send you straight to hell.
If you just smell it.
If you just are in the same store with it. Or weed or any of that stuff. Yeah. No, it's not that bad.
Right.
Right. Okay, well, let's move along here to a story from our home state, the great state of Alabama, the heart of Dixie.
Yes.
Here. This comes to us from, Q13fox.com. And it's from Huntsville, which is really one of the nicest areas in our state, mainly because people from other states and other parts of the world moved there and made it really nice. So
shout out to Wilts Couture.
Yeah, he sent
posting this up in the group.
Todd also sent it to me as well. Okay, so Huntsville, Alabama, 2 people were boiling mad as they waited for crab legs at a buffet, surprising diners and 1 police officer. Literally, as I sat down and maybe took 2 bites out of my plate, Huntsville police officer Gerald Johnson said, there was a woman who was beating a man. People were moving around. Plates were shattering everywhere, Johnson said. No sooner had he dished up a plate at the Meteor Buffet off of Memorial Parkway, Johnson says a fight was happening in the food line. It's not typically something you hear if you can imagine a fencing match. Ooh, I don't understand. I've never heard a fencing match, though. I'm more of a lightsaber guy. The sound Johnson was hearing was tongs clashing. The Meteor Buffet diners were eagerly awaiting the next tray of crab legs coming out of the kitchen. Everyone was saying, they cut me in line, she cut me in line, he cut me in line, and I was here first, Johnson said. Police arrested John Chapman and Chiquita Jenkins, who was eating with the buffet with their kids. They had been waiting there for crab legs for a good 10 or 20 minutes. Wow.
That's a long time.
Yeah, a speed of service issue right there on the
blame the
restaurant.
Meteor Buffet from
That's right. When they finally came out, it was very heated, especially if someone is taking more than their fair share. Johnson recounted.
I don't know. The sign says all you can eat.
That's true.
So who's to say?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm in line first and I'm raking out the entire pan of crab legs, that's tough luck for you.
You're going to have to fight before them, man.
You're gonna have to wait.
That's what happened.
Yeah, you're going to have to wait another 10 or 20 minutes. Officer Johnson said after talking with Chapman and Jenkins, they admitted that their tempers got the best of them. They were hangry.
You're not yourself when when you're hungry.
Chapman is facing a disorderly conduct, and Jenkins is charged with 3rd-degree assault.
Oh, they got them both.
Yeah. Both people could end up paying a few $100s in fines, well above the $10.58 per plate charge at the Meteor Buffet. Chapman suffered a cut to his head in the restaurant fight, and Jenkins was not hurt. Chapman will be in court on March 21st. So, and if you look at the picture, Chapman's like an old dude.
Yeah, he is.
He don't need to be fighting anybody. He'll get a hip broke, I don't know what the deal was, but I just can't. I mean, I like crab legs as much as anybody, but I can't see getting in a fight over them, especially at a buffet,
Yeah.
And now, if I ordered at Red Lobster, because I eat at fancy places like Red Lobster,
Right.
and you come and get some off my plate,
I'm more of a Captain D's man myself.
Captain D's is in my wheelhouse, really. But yeah, if you came and got some off my plate at Captain D's or Red Lobster, now we might fight then. But at a buffet, like you say, I mean, it's first come, first serve. And I can't also see myself at a buffet standing around for 10 or 20 minutes waiting on crab legs. Like, is that the only reason that you go? I would just be eating all the other stuff.
Well, no, I've never been to the Meteor Buffet.
Me either.
Maybe we should take a trip. Maybe, I got to find out what this is about.
Let's do the next show on location. Interview the wait staff,
Walk in and be like, hey, look, at the Earth Oddity podcast, we heard that people fight over your crab legs.
Your crab legs
gotta
are so
be good.
Yes. I just pictured them like they both had a pair of tongs in their hands. They're like going at each other with them.
And then that Star Trek music. Bum, 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 bum.
But that's just wild, man. I can't see myself getting in a fight over $10 worth of food,
Yeah.
at a buffet. I would just go eat, the prime rib they got down there. And when I see the crab legs coming out, then I'd probably stand up and go over there and get in line and get me some.
I want to know why the Meteor Buffet hasn't approached Jameis Winston.
True.
About
Their spokesman.
potential being a sponsorship deal.
That might work. I mean, he is such a not good quarterback in the NFL for some reason.
Well, that happens to a lot of college players
True.
who just,
Yeah.
they blow up in college ball.
Yeah.
But then when
Had that discussion.
the game is so different.
Yeah, I had that discussion with Hudson the other night. Like different people peak at different times. Like the dude that was really good at Little League Baseball, may not have been that great by the time he got to high school. Or
Right.
didn't go to college, play baseball or whatever. And then the kid who was like average in high school, like played at his junior college, was really good, and then ended up getting drafted by the pros,
Yeah.
So, yeah, different people peak at different times. But Jameis Winston he's from Hueytown, Alabama, by the way. We love our crab legs. Alabamians love crab legs.
I wonder if he ever went to the Meteor Buffet.
I'm sure, probably. He's more of a Publix guy. He likes the Publix crab legs. But, yeah, so Alabamians, the two things we're known for are country music and crab legs, I guess.
legs.
So, and we'll fight you for them. Or we'll in Jameis's case, we'll just stuff them up under our shirt and go out the door without paying for them.
This next story goes out to everyone out there in Harris County, which is somewhere near Houston.
Okay.
There is an underwear bandit on the loose.
Ooh.
Man accused of stealing 612 pairs of women's underwear escapes custody.
Wow. He escaped. Like they had him locked
custody,
up.
yes.
And he got out. Okay.
He got away.
Wow.
He's just, slippery and
That's right.
Silky.
Yeah, silky. Yeah, satiny. Very satiny. So these are entirely women's underwear?
according to the news story, yes.
Okay. All right.
A man who is accused of stealing 612 pairs of women's underwear escaped from custody Thursday, Harris County deputies said. Efrain Gutierrez, 38, slipped out of handcuffs while being placed in custody on multiple theft charges, according to deputies. In his most recent case, he is accused of taking multiple clothing items from a Kohl's in Humble, according to court records. Gutierrez is waiting to be arraigned Thursday at court at the Harris County Juvenile Justice Center in downtown Houston. His arraignment was being held at juvenile court due to adult court undergoing renovations as a result of Hurricane Harvey. Oh. Investigators are now asking for the public's help in locating him. Gutierrez,
He'd be the guy holding all the panties.
Gutierrez was previously charged with aggravated theft in 2018. He was arrested June 30th after he was caught on surveillance video taking the underwear from Victoria's Secret at Deerbrook Mall during 6 different incidents between May 2nd and June 30th, according to police at the time. Gutierrez has previous convictions of theft, drug possession, trespassing, according to court records. So everyone out there, stake out the Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, so say like
maybe even the Lane Bryant.
The police should just like make a trail of underwear, panties leading to the police station.
Cage,
yeah, right. Yeah,
with a stick on a string.
Right, get him that way. Luckily, because when you read the headline, I was thinking he was stealing panties from like people's houses,
Yeah.
which is like weird. But clearly, he's probably going to resell these, I guess, on eBay or something like that.
I don't know.
I feel like if you're like a guy that's into women's panties, like that's your thing. Like everybody's got their thing. If that's your thing, no big deal.
Go to Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook group marketplace.
Just go buy some from people
There's this
we know.
one dude that loves my wife's underwear.
That's right. Exactly. I'll say you can find your underwear. You don't have to steal them. So surely he's reselling them, right?
I don't know, but this dude, he doesn't even ask us to wash them first. He'll buy every pair that my wife posts up there.
I'll say like that. I would not consider that normal, but I would consider that acceptable.
Yeah.
You don't go just stealing them,
right?
And if you're like that dude who will buy your wife's underwear, how weird is that to say out loud? But she's never going to listen to this, so it doesn't matter.
She don't listen,
right? At some point, you're like, hey man, I got 10 or 11 pair, I'm good to go. I don't need 600. What are you going to do with 600 if you're into that? I don't know.
Maybe he's got like a collection.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. But if you're getting them new, I don't feel like that's like, that ain't your thing. You like must be reselling them or something to somebody. Yeah, you'd want to get some game worn equipment, like a collector gets a game worn jersey, like, oh yeah,
Played against sports.
Yeah, Tom Brady wore this in the Super Bowl, so it's got the grass stains on it or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I feel like if that was your thing, that's what you'd want, is some game worn equipment. Yeah, not just fresh off the rack. So clearly I think he was reselling them, which I didn't know the market for women's underwear was so good. Maybe
I didn't either.
I might just go sell every pair Deidre's got. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to say his name on air, but I got a contact. I got a guy.
You got a guy.
I got a guy.
That's right. Okay. Tell him I'll provide pictures of her in them, if that's what he wants.
Polaroids.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I fix him up. We'll work a deal out here.
He'll buy them.
I'm sure he will.
I'll tell you what, he'll buy them.
Let's go. Let's make a deal here. See what we can get out of him. What if we bankrupt this dude? Just for fun, just because it's fun to talk about on the podcast.
Maybe I should go hit up like a Goodwill or somewhere.
That's right. That's what we can do.
Like, yeah,
Here's what I bet you. What if this guy Gutierrez here may have figured it out? He may be stealing them from Victoria's Secrets, putting them on Facebook, and selling them to weirdos, and telling them like, "Oh yeah, no, this is my old lady's underwear." Yeah, no, it's my. He's making 100% profit on everything. You know. All right, now we got the wheels turning. All right, juice is flowing or whatever. That's a bad choice of word. Wheels turning
Yes.
for sure. All right, let's move on here.
All right.
An entire staff at an Ohio Sonic location quit because of terrible management. Having been in the restaurant business, I would say that my average employee who worked for me was there for at least 2 years. So I was a pretty good manager, I feel like. But employees at 3 Sonic drive-ins in Ohio quit en masse, or en masse.
En masse, yeah.
I say en masse. It's got an E on the end of it. After the company was sold to people that don't give a blank, so said the ex-staff.
Okay.
The Circleville, Lancaster, and Grove City locations abruptly closed Friday night after the entire crews of each store walked off the job, according to local news outlet. Due to terrible management, the whole store is quit. Sorry for the inconvenience, but our team refuses to work for a company that treats their employees like they are blank when they have put everything into this store. One note that was taped to the door of the Circleville location read, "Thank you, next." Another sign read. The fast food upheaval occurred after staff reportedly said they saw their wages reduced from the state's minimum wage of $8.55 for non-tipped employees to $4.30 for tipped employees. Yep, that'll do it.
Yeah.
However, a spokesman for Sonic said in a statement that no wage rates at any level decreased as a result of the transition. We recognize that changes like this can be difficult for employees to understand, and most current employees will have the opportunity to continue working at the drive-in, Christy Woolworth, the vice president of PR for Sonic, said. Under new management, guests and the community can look forward to improved service and the famous food, beverages, and treats for which Sonic is known. Sonic's operating affiliate, SRI Holding Company, bought 8 of the drive-ins in the Columbus market and began operating them on February 25th. 2 drive-ins were closed as a result of the purchase. It's unclear whether the stores will remain closed. So it sounds like the company took them over, and they're probably like, pretty hard line. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are going to wear your roller skates or whatever you're supposed to do that they weren't doing, and the people quit. But if it's true that they reduced their wages to a tip wage.
People don't typically quit in mass for no reason.
Exactly.
I got to believe that it was at least provoked a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but, I feel like if you're a Sonic worker and you quit, you can go down the road and get a job at Hardee's or wherever, and you'll be just fine, So tough luck for Sonic, though. Yeah,
I mean,
imagine if you're like the guy who owns the Sonic, like you're the president of the company or whatever. You're like, hey, look, call down to the Columbus location. Let's see what kind of numbers they're doing today. And that phone's just ringing and ringing and ringing, and nobody's picking up. And then you drive down there, and there's a note on the door. It just says, thank you, next. You're like, ooh, wow, this is not good. But, now they can hire the people they want to hire and start fresh and get going. I do wish.
Better treat them right.
Yeah. I do wish they would fire the 2 guys who do Sonic commercials all the time. Like, what do we got to do to get those dudes off the air?
Way back when me and my wife were dating, which was, over 12 years ago, they occasionally had one that was funny, but I can't believe they're still around.
I mean, that has been the longest.
They're still there.
Yeah. I mean, like every SEC football, weekend, you're going to get 8 million Sonic commercials. And then they'll sprinkle in some Chick-fil-A commercials, too. Yeah. But you got to say the cow thing's getting old, Chick-fil-A. I know it's not right to criticize Chick-fil-A as a Baptist, but I just want to say cow thing's getting a little old. Let's come up with something new. All right. Let's work on something else.
I'm not with him.
Okay. All right. You don't want to get. I'll take all the criticism for that. All right. Eat more chicken. That's a good slogan. Eat more chicken.
Yeah.
Let's figure out a different way to market that to people. Okay.
Well, who else would be advocating people to eat more chicken besides cows?
I mean, people who like chicken.
Okay.
Let's do testimonials or something. Like, hey, I love Chick-fil-A because their chicken's good. You should eat more chicken. Come on down, Tiny Sullivan, and buy some more chicken any day of the week except Sunday. I mean, that's all you got to say. I don't know. It's not like Chick-fil-A's got to have a huge marketing arm anyways. Their product speaks for itself. The service speaks for itself.
That's true, but they got to have a pretty big marketing budget, though. I mean, they've got a bowl game.
They sponsor a bowl game, and like the Chick-fil-A kickoff every year, too, in Atlanta, where Alabama usually goes and beats down some team.
Some small team.
Right, yeah. But we're not doing it this year, are we?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I haven't looked at next year's
I think we open with Duke.
Yeah.
I think we open with Duke this year.
That'll be a fun game.
Yeah, because we schedule hard teams.
That'll be a riveting kickoff weekend.
Well, fun fact: Duke Stadium's named for Wallace Wade, who was a coach at Alabama. If you didn't know that,
right.
Yeah, Grateful Dead played a really great concert there in 1976, Wallace Wade Stadium. So
I'm more worried about planning my wife's 40th birthday.
Yeah,
which is before that.
Yeah,
it's a surprise birthday, so y'all don't tell her.
Yeah, right.
I know she won't listen to this.
She's not going to
so
hear it.
So I can
from
talk
here.
all about it.
We
here.
already talked about her selling her underwear, some weird guy, but that's okay. That's okay.
I'm thinking like it's going to be like an 80s party. It's going to be off the chain.
Off the chain.
Yes.
I'm excited about it.
Again, y'all don't tell her.
Yeah, nobody tell her.
And I may tell people who are interested to go listen to this episode, maybe artificially inflate our download numbers.
That's right. If you want the details, you have to listen to this episode. That's good. That's not bad.
Okay, well, this is likely going to be the last, well, at least my last story.
Yeah, that was the last one I had, so.
Okay. Nintendo of America has a new president.
Okay.
And
Mario.
No.
Okay.
It is it's Bowser.
Bowser.
It is.
All right.
Doug Bowser is now the president of Nintendo North America.
Okay, Doug Bowser. Do you think like he like set out when he got out of business school? He's like, I'm going to work for Nintendo. You know, I got the name for it.
Can you imagine him working in the mailroom and his last name is
Bowser?
Well, this is like Pierre or something.
Oh,
He's like, I'm going to change it to Bowser.
That's right. He starts climbing the corporate ladder real fast. Yeah. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Anyway, after 15 notable years at Nintendo of America and nearly 13 as its president and COO, Reggie Fils-Aimé will retire.
Okay.
His last day with Nintendo will be April 15th. Doug Bowser, NOA's current senior vice president of sales and marketing, will succeed Reggie as president of Nintendo of America.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm sure you've heard the saying before, kick butt and take names.
That's right.
That's actually attributed to Reggie.
Oh, he made that?
Yes, when he first came in, he was making a presentation at what is it, E3 or whatever?
Yeah.
And I think the quote was, at Nintendo, we're all about kicking butt. We're about taking names and making games. But then the internet shortened that to kicking butt, taking names.
Huh. All right. I just thought some redneck dude came up with that, like standing in a Kmart parking lot on a Saturday night trying to fight everybody.
No, it came from a nerd.
Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty good. I don't know that I'd be intimidated by the Nintendo guy.
Way to go, nerds.
Yeah. Nerds win again.
Like we were talking about last week.
That's right. Good. If you got the name Bowser, you're good on the Nintendo front. I feel like that's instant credibility.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I bet in his office the floor really is lava.
It's like you enter it and it plays like that dungeon music or whatever.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
I bet like all his underlings, they're sick and tired of having to collect all the stars to get the key to go to his office.
That's right. I would say I used Bowser in Mario Kart back when the kids had DS. That was my main go-to guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a big Bowser guy.
That's big on Yoshi. I like Yoshi.
Yeah, that's the dinosaur
That's
looking
the
thing?
green dinosaur that Mario rides on. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right. I'm not up. It's surprise, surprise. I'm not up on a lot of my video game stuff like I should be.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Bowser.
Yeah.
On
your position.
On your.
Yeah. Well, I know he's a big fan of the show. He's written in before, so we're glad. Maybe we can get him on next episode. You'll have to download it and find out.
Okay, our next story. We're going to do one more. We're going to do a bonus story.
Do a little bonus story for you.
We're a little ahead of schedule. Minnesota police called for a welfare check on a man that turned out to be a cutout of the MyPillow CEO. Are you familiar with that dude?
Oh, yeah.
He looked like he stepped right out of the 70s.
He does. He does.
Haircut and the gold chain.
He's got a mustache, too, right?
A big, bushy caterpillar mustache.
Oh, yeah.
Minnesota police.
We call that the Jeff Given.
Yeah.
I'm not making fun of Jeff's mustache. I actually respect his mustache.
Yeah. His mustache will slap you.
Yeah,
if you disrespect it.
That's right, yes.
Minnesota police revealed they received a troubling call asking them to check on the welfare of a man standing outside hugging a pillow, only to find out that it was the cutout of MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell.
Okay.
The Jordan Police Department said officers were called to check on the welfare of an adult male who was wearing no coat outside in the cold. Once officers arrived on the scene, they discovered a cardboard cutout that looked pretty realistic.
All right.
Those cardboard cutouts sure can look real from a distance, and the caller certainly was not wanting to get too close, thinking, who is this deranged person standing outside in the cold hugging a pillow? Always better to call the police said.
Yeah, I guess.
So, word of the humorous call even reached the CEO and founder of MyPillow himself, who tweeted out an article about it with a laughing emoji. The call comes as Minnesota experiences extremely cold temperatures and low wind chills due to the Arctic air mass. Lindell himself spoke at a conservative political action conference.
Oh, for real?
This past Thursday. And he told the crowd in Oxon Hill, Maryland, that a decade ago he was enmeshed in an addiction to crack cocaine and alcohol. On January 16th, 2009, God freed me from the addictions and started me on a path to a restored heart. Praise Jesus, Lindell said.
All right, I can get on board with that.
Get on board with that. He also said, I don't know if you saw this. This is a whole nother story, but at that same conference, he said that God chose Donald Trump to run for president in 2016.
All right.
The outcome was divinely.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
Well, depending on your perspective on things like predestination and all that, that might or may not be true. So
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Well, good for MyPillow guy. Yeah. I'm glad it was a cardboard cutout. Glad the cops didn't shoot him.
Yeah.
The cops were like, "Hey, drop the pillow." And they just unloaded on him. The cops will shoot people every once in a while. Let's all admit it. We all love the police, but every once in a while they'll shoot somebody.
Again, good for that guy. Apparently, he's successful.
Yeah.
But, if I started a pillow company, I think I would. I don't think I'd do it myself. I wouldn't try to be my own spokesperson. I would try to get somebody like Kate Beckinsale or somebody to hawk my product.
Well, then you got to pay them. If you do it yourself, if you become the face, then you're like you're doubling your money. I guess you're not having to pay that supermodel or whoever.
Yeah.
So yeah, good for my pillow guy. It's still kind of crazy though. You think you'd look out your window and be like, "Hey, there's a dude standing over there holding a pillow." And then you look back and you're like, hey, he has not moved at all. Like, he is like standing stiff as a board. Should we call the police?
He really wants to sell me one of those pillows.
Yeah. Hey, honey, the My Pillow guy standing on the sidewalk here. But I don't know that I would call the cops before I went out and was like, hey, bud, you all right? Like hollered from across the yard or whatever.
Yeah.
But maybe that's the difference between like, the South and other places because it's not that uncommon to see a meth head walking around with a pillow on the side of the road. We just treat them like normal, It's like, hey, he's about to get a nap. He gets his first nap in 4 days. So. Let's talk about Cajun Curl.
Cajun Curl, what's that?
It's my favorite spice. It's your favorite spice, and it's the world famous Bayou blended spice. And we want to thank them for their support. Check them out. Everybody go right now. As soon as this podcast is over, go to their website, CajunCurl.com, because there you can order the spice and their Cajun Curl chip cutter for potatoes. So, you know where it was created?
It was created on the world famous Elm Bayou.
Elm Bayou.
Lucky Elm Bayou.
That's right, down in Evangeline Parish, Louisiana. And it's a seasoning that goes on everything. If you like cooking or eating, this is a spice for you. Cajun Curl Bayou blended spice goes well on chicken, beef, pork, potatoes, and anything else you can think of putting it on. The spiral potato cutter is absolutely amazing. It's easy to use, it's easy to clean, and it'll allow you to make your own chips using the Cajun Curl spice. So imagine you're having your essential oils party, pyramid scheme party. You can make up your own chips. You can sprinkle the Cajun Curl spice on it. Everybody goes home happy. They got their lavender and frankincense and all that stuff.
They got their starter kit.
Yeah, their starter kit that they paid $150 for, and they got to sign up 5 other people.
Yep.
You know what's not a pyramid scheme? Cajun Curl.
That's right.
That's right. It'll help you out.
You go to the store or you go to the site, you buy your spice, bing, bam, boom. That's it. You don't have to go recruit other people to. Now, you're probably going to want to tell your friends.
Oh, absolutely.
About the spice because it's life-changingly delicious.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it will change your life. I still think back to the first chips I ate that Squirrel brought us or Brandon brought us. So their president and CEO. It changed my life. It's great. So anyways, on CajunCurl.com, you can not only order the Bayou blended spice and the chip cutter, but you can find recipes there that you can use with it that are really great. And you can also locate your nearest retailer or order your own there. If your local grocer doesn't carry world famous Cajun Curl Bayou blended spice, ask them to start stocking it now. Here locally in Tuscaloosa, Northport, the Tuscaloosa-Northport Metroplex, you can get it at Vowels on Skyland Boulevard, South's Finest Beats, and Piggly Wiggly if you don't want to cross a bridge and get into all the construction traffic. So, yes, if you live in Northport. All of their products are made in the USA, and it's all natural. It's low salt, and it has a little kick to it, but it doesn't burn your lips. All right, so pay attention, everybody. World famous Cajun Curl Bayou blended spice. Taste the spice, but not the heat. CajunCurl.com. Check them out. Use the promo code when you order your spice there. You're going to type in EOP10, the number 10, and you'll get a 10% discount.
Because we ask that you use the spice, but we don't ask you to pay full price.
Amen.
All right, we have a new review this week.
Okay, all right.
This review comes from
Okay.
And the title of the review is Good Clean Laughs, rating 5 stars. Can today's news possibly be funny? Listen to the stories Tiny and John share, and you will have the answer.
Okay.
So, John, what's the answer? Can they be funny?
Yeah, definitely. And, I wanted to give a shout out. I made a friend on Instagram.
Oh.
Yeah, I got to get over there to the Earth Oddity page real quick. I did a hashtag of Florida Man on our story, and our last story that I put up. Mm-hmm. And these guys had contacted me. They have their own podcast. It's actually really pretty funny to listen to.
Okay.
It's called Florida Men on Florida Man. And it's two guys.
I like the title.
Yeah, two guys from Florida that are talking about all the Florida Man stuff. So
cool.
If anybody out there is interested, after you listen to our episode every week, you can go check out theirs. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And that comes from the guy who doesn't listen to a lot of podcasts. So enjoy it.
Awesome. And also, just for everybody who sent in their address, I mailed out your glasses yesterday.
All
so
right.
you should be getting them really, really soon. If you just can't wait and you got to know, I suppose I can mail you a tracking number. But they should be coming in the mail. Anyone who wants to get a pair of glasses and go take a picture and tag it Earth Oddity, that will group all these pictures together, and then we can, put a face with some funny glasses on some of our audience. Hopefully get us a little bit more visibility, but that is hashtag Earth Oddity on Instagram. And this promotion, this push is going to the end of the month, so send in your address if you want us to send you a pair of disguise glasses.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead. I posted one up not long ago of, Tiny and I on the Earth Oddity page, but also of Hudson.
Yeah,
I got one of each, so I'm sprinkling them in. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, yeah, go search on Instagram the Earth Oddity hashtag. You can see what all weirdos we are. So.
You have been listening to Earth Oddity Podcast. Thank you so much for listening to us, no matter where you get us, whether you get us on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes. We're on them all.
Everywhere.
If you would like to write into the show, we are earthoddity@planetmail.net. If you would like to tweet at us, we are @_earthoddity. Do you like to look at pictures?
Yep.
Sometimes we post pictures.
More often than not.
You can look at those pictures. We are _Earth Oddity on Instagram.
Yeah, follow us.
And if you would like to give us a phone call.
Oh, yeah.
What's that? Do we have a phone number?
We do have a phone number, and people are calling it all the time. It is 662-493-2059.
What's that number again?
662-493-2059.
I've got that number set to Do Not Disturb, but since nobody calls it, I think I may just take that off. So.
Yeah, right, because it would surprise the heck out of you. Everybody wait till 2 a.m. and call Tiny. All right, go ahead.
We hope all y'all have a wonderful week. Earth Oddity for the Fringe Radio Network signing off.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Hey, the show's over. Why you're still with me?